cold autumn night in Tokyo in 1941, a man sat in a noisy bar, holding his glass with a hand slightly trembling, not from fear, but from sheer exhaustion, and laughing loudly with Nazi officers. This man was Richard Sorge, the handsome German journalist loyal to the Nazis, whose real identity as the most dangerous spy of the 20th century remained unknown to the Germans. Sorge was not a conventional spy hiding in the shadows. He enjoyed dancing in the spotlight. Born in Baku in 1895 to a German father working as an engineer in the oil fields and a Russian mother, this ethnic mix gave him a dual identity in his blood, long before he applied it to his chosen profession. He grew up in Germany, but his wounds from World War I forged a strong communist ideology, compelling him to secretly return to his Russian roots while publicly displaying loyalty to his German heritage. Thanks to his sharp intellect, he infiltrated the German embassy in Japan and became a close advisor to the German ambassador, Eugen Ott. The ambassador shared secret telegrams from Berlin with him over coffee, unaware that every word spoken reached the center in Moscow before the ink could dry. In mid-1941, Sorge sent an urgent encrypted telegram to Stalin. The giants are on the move. Germany will invade the Soviet Union on June 22nd with 170 divisions. The information was terrifyingly precise, but Stalin, ever skeptical, dismissed Sorge as a dirty informer. When the invasion indeed occurred on the date Sorge had predicted, Moscow realized it had the most dangerous agent in Tokyo, but the price had been high. While German tanks were just kilometers from Moscow's Red Square, the Soviets faced a true nightmare. Would Japan attack from the east and crush them? Here, Sorge played his final winning card. He confirmed through his sources inside the Japanese government, and even the German ambassador, that Japan had no intention of attacking Siberia. Instead, they were moving south, toward the Pacific. This telegram became a lifeline for the Soviets. Based on it, Stalin withdrew the elite Siberian divisions, experienced in winter warfare, and sent them to the Moscow front, turning the tide against Hitler and achieving the first setback for the Nazi army. On October 18, 1941, the mask finally fell. Japanese intelligence arrested Sorge after tracing his radio signals. During 3 years in prison, Moscow refused to acknowledge him or negotiate an exchange, coldly stating, "We don't know anyone by that name." On November 7, 1944, Sorge walked to the gallows with an eerie calm. His last words were spoken in Japanese, the language of those who executed him, and Russian, the language of the homeland he betrayed. After his execution in Tokyo in 1944, the Soviet Union under Stalin committed the crime of erasing memory. Sorge was completely denied, considered by Moscow merely an adventurer with no ties to them, and his heroic deeds remained locked in dusty secret files for nearly 20 years. In the official Soviet view, Sorge was a nobody until the moment that changed everything. Everything changed on a cinematic night in 1964, when Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev watched a French film titled "Who Are You, Mr. Sorge?" Khrushchev was stunned and asked his generals sharply, "Is this man real? Did he really do all this for us?" When he received confirmation and learned that the files verified his previously denied heroics, Khrushchev was outraged and immediately moved to restore his honor. That same year, Sorge was posthumously awarded the title of Hero of the Soviet Union. A postage stamp bearing his image was issued, and he transformed from a forgotten traitor into a national legend. The world's admiration was not just historical speculation. Ian Fleming, creator of James Bond, famously said, "Richard Sorge is the greatest spy in history." The only difference between Bond and Sorge is that Sorge didn't have high-tech gadgets. He had a mind capable of manipulating entire empires. Sorge's life ended, but his enigma did not. Imagine being Stalin at that moment. receiving intelligence from a man living a decadent life in Tokyo, claiming that the largest army in history would attack in a matter of days. If you were the commander, would you trust a spy living like a king among the enemy, or see him as a double agent trying to lure you into a trap? And what fatal mistake did Sorge make that led to his eventual downfall, in your opinion?